Okay guys, you're in a nutshell with me, Ina. May bago pong proseso na susundin ang probinsya ng Nova Scotia para sa gustong mag-PR doon, sa mga mag-a-apply to immigrate, move to Nova Scotia permanently. Magkakaroon na rin sila ng tinatawag na EOI or Expression of Interest Model, okay? Which is what some programs are already doing, Express Entry, OINP, etc. Okay, now ang tanong, is this a simple transition o change sa proseso ng PR pathway to Nova Scotia? Well, apparently not, no? As what we will learn from our suki, nagbabalik, Attorney Lou Jansen Dangzalan, it's not just simply changing the way you apply to become PR in Nova Scotia. In fact, isa na naman tong paghihigpit. Yun ang end effect ng change na ito. So tell us briefly, ano bang nangyari? Itong EOI model, why should applicants sa Nova Scotia be worried? Sabihin nila, yan naman din talaga ginagawa ng ibang programa. Bakit kami mag-aalala?
Bakit kayo mag-aalala? Kasi dati, si Nova Scotia, siya na lang yung parang last man standing. Hindi naman last, pero one of the last significant programs standing na kapag ka na-meet mo na yung eligibility mo, pwede ka na mag-submit ng application for the Certificate of Nomination dun sa kanilang PNP, which then allows you, pag nakuha mo na yung certificate, allows you to apply for PR. So in other words, kapag na-meet mo yung baseline requirements for age, work experience, etc., hindi ka na makikipag-Hunger Games at kompetensya dun sa mga 25 years old na syempre mabilis, matulin, flexible at lahat na. So, halimbawa, kung ang candidate profile mo is upper 30s, pushing to 40s, syempre pagdating sa points, alam naman natin, di ba, mga points-based system, kapag ka mas bata, nire-reward. Kapag mas matanda, pinapunish. So, dahil yung EOI lalabas, it's very likely na yung model na i-approach nila is going to be aligned with what the rest of Canada does. In other words, Ontario, Alberta, British Columbia, even federal sa express entry. Na diba every birthday nababawasan ka nga ng puntos. So, sumo total nito is naghihigpit kasi madami na ngang nag-a-apply for the program. So, sobrang na-overflow sila sa supply side. Therefore, ginagamit nila itong expression of interest model to manage the demand for the program.
Oo, guys, no, I have to admit, bago kami mag-record ng episode na ito, nag-clarify pa ako ng husto kay Attorney Lou dahil hindi rin ako sure. Sabi ko, ano ba ibig sabihin pag diretso ka nang nakaka-apply versus itong EOI? So, tama na ba yung intindi ko, Lou? Yung dati kasi, yun na nga ma-meet lang nila yung may job offer, whatever, yung eligibility, mag-a-apply na agad, and the applicant can expect na pupuntahan, ipaprocess yung kanilang application, whether or not i-deny, kumbaga meron ng mag-a-assess sa kanilang application.
That's correct.
Whereas now, you have to submit an expression of interest, tapos mapupunta, ito yung kasi nangyayari sa iba, no? Mapupunta ka sa isang pool of applicants, tapos bubunot sila doon, di ba? Magdodraw na rin. In short, hindi na guaranteed na papansinin nila ang iyong application. Actually, hindi ka pa nga makakapag-apply. No, to begin with. You have to wait to be drawn.
Yung profile creation is not, it's not an application per se, di ba? Kaya nga yung iba, di ba, nagtataka, ba't hindi ako pwede mag-apply ng bridging, open work permit? Kasi nga, hindi pa kayo nagsasabit ng application. Siguro yung very different lang dito sa situation ng Nova Scotia, Ina, ang kailangan natin i-highlight dun sa announcement mismo ng Nova Scotia is yung mga existing applications sa pool for provincial nomination, I should say, co-convert lang ng Nova Scotia into EOI profiles. So in other words, yung mga nakapag-submit in the last few months na hindi pa napaprocess, magiging profile kayo at magiging competition na ito amongst the candidates basically. So yung question mo kanina, very relevant. Kapag nag-submit ka na na-meet mo na yung requirements, yun na yun, di ba? Ngayon, dahil sa in order to submit a complete application, pwede pa rin kayo mag-submit. Ang sisting nga lang dito, ilalagay kayo sa pool. Pero
Oo.
complete application siya on paper, in theory. Pero nga lang, ito, depende dun sa magiging system na i-adapt ng Nova Scotia. Siyempre, magiging points-based na rin ito.
Oo.
Mostly going to follow the models of the other provinces of Canada. And then, ipa-prioritize nila kung ano yung mga areas of priority nila.
Oo. Would you say na yung Nova Scotia, before this EOI system, fairly mas madaling ma-PR kung talagang ma-meet mo yung requirements, yung eligibility. Kunyari, ma-fulfill mo lahat, they hardly, deny or refuse an application.
Basta na-meet mo yung requirements nun, definitely mas simple and straightforward yung process ng Nova Scotia.
Alright.
Until very recently, I will say.
Oh,
And the
okay.
reason for that is exactly what we have been talking about in this channel, Ina, in the last few months na. Which is ang dami na talagang mga candidates na nagpa-parachute in sa Atlantic provinces
Yan.
for this particular reason. Kasi nga, may perception, and the perception naman na ito may basis in reality, na mas madali ang programa sa Nova Scotia compared sa Ontario. Basta meet mo lang kasi eligibility, hindi mo na kailangan maghintay pa ng draw. Pero ito nga, moving forward, magkakaroon na ng similar system.
Okay. Teka nga, alam mo, wait, hold on. I will just plug in my charger. Nag-alert sa akin na wala akong
Nag-alert
battery.
na.
Oo, tingnan mo, namatay yung aking laptop. But anyway, what was I gonna say? So this is the effect. Yun na nga tulad ng sinasabi mo, of so many people over the past year, I guess.
Yes.
Biglang nagtatry sa AIP. 'Di ba? Kaya ganun. Oh my gosh.
Yes.
Okay. Do you see, sabi mo one of the last provinces standing na merong direct application noon. Ano pa bang natitira ngayon, or ano ba, lahat ba sila EOI system na ngayon? And parang
Practically
ano ang
lahat ng mga...
nakikita mong mangyayari na baka may sumunod na program?
So, yung ano kasi ibang provinces sa Atlantic, direct application din sila, pero yung iba may modified expression of interest sila. So, Prince Edward Island, as far as I understand, wala. I have to review. I can't tell you with certainty kung ano yung meron pa. Pero as far as I understood, talagang Nova Scotia was like one of the key principal provinces talaga. Lead cast na hindi pa siya expression of interest. But as of, yun nga, nung announcement nga, nung November 28, ito na. Yung provincial nomination niya is EOI na. And I think it's worth highlighting dyan, no? Nakalagay sulat mismo
Ito na nga,
dito.
oo.
Hindi lang NSNP, pati yung AIP, yung Atlantic Immigration Program, affected na. Ganun din.
Na mapupunta for Nova Scotia, parang ganun, di ba?
Correct.
Yung AIP application.
Kasi while the AIP is a federal program on paper, the implementation is ginagawa ng provinces. Kasi the employer would have to apply for the endorsement certificate. And saan ba sila mag-a-apply? Sa province. Once nakuha na nila yung certificate, the candidate, halimbawa ikaw, Ina, nag-a-apply ka ng PR through the AIP. Saka ka pa lang pwede mag-apply ng PR to IRCC. Diba? So direct application din siya from that perspective. Pero may hidden step yung employer.
I see, oo. And I guess what's worrisome is, as you mentioned earlier, even those who have already submitted their applications before this announcement, affected. Kasi di ba yung ibang immigration policies noon, kapag may bagong policy, applications moving forward lang yung apektado. Okay, you guys our viewers who might want to know more, you can go to Nova Scotia's official website on immigration. At doon makikita niyo yung detalye. At ito na nga ang nakasulat, existing submissions. All submissions to Nova Scotia's immigration programs, regardless of when they were submitted, are considered EOIs. So yung akala mo dati, hintayin ko na lang yung resulta kung okay. Hindi, kailangan mo na ring maghintay ng madraw ka.
Yun
Okay.
na,
And
yun
ang
na.
explanation dito sa website is, this is to make sure that people who are going to be eventually PRs, aligned, as usual, no? Aligned sa needs ng province. Nakasulat din yung listahan ng mga priority, kumbaga sectors nila. Of course, andun pa rin yung healthcare, etc. So, hanapin nyo na lang dito sa website. Nako, I think problemado na naman yung ibang dito lang umaasa sa Nova Scotia.
Yeah,
Dahil nga sa
sadly.
dating process. Is there any way to boost their chances of getting drawn as, yeah?
Well, the more lead time na pag-aaralan ninyo itong mga programs na to and to anticipate potential program changes down the road, the better your position will be. Diba? So, it might sound self-serving, pero honestly, like, get a consultation right away. Kasi, yun nga, kailangan planuhin to ng maigi, hindi last minute talaga. And dapat may mga backup plans.
Correct. Ay, nako. Ito, nakasulat kung ano yung kanilang priorities, guys. These priorities could include sectors such as healthcare, construction and trades, STEM, natural resources and manufacturing, along with broader community and workforce needs. Pero nakasulat din dito, please continue to visit our website for published draw information.
Correct.
Okay.
Tama naman.
Well, maikli lang naman tong episode na ito, no? Just another update of yet another immigration pathway na naghihigpit ngayon. Ganun talaga. No? Nakwento nga, nabanggit sa akin ni Lou. Malungkot talaga ang mga pangyayari recently and you feel it with your recent consults, no, Lou? Yung
super.
nararamdaman na talaga ng mga kababayan natin.
And akala ko magsisimula itong ganitong situation. I mean, nagsimula na naman siya na matagal. Pero alam mo yun, I was kind of like hoping for a holiday respite. Pero hindi talaga pinatawad. Talagang, final stretch of 2025 talagang ito pa rin. Tapos papasok tayo ng 2026. Hindi natin alam kung ano yung magiging itsura ng category-based draws. Alam mo, may init na rin ng discussions about ano yung mga occupations for category-based draws. So, I think we should have a separate episode in regards to ano yung mga fearless forecasts na regarding dun sa mga categories, mga occupation. Pwede nating himayin per occupation.
Yon, pwede yun, ha? Mga fearless forecast ni Lou. Ganyan.
No,
for 2026. Kumbaga parang sa pag nag-news report, mga year-ender report, tapos ano ang aasahan natin for the coming year. Maybe, yeah, let's do it soon. Thank you so much, Lou, as always, for being here. Nako, naririnig niyo sa boses ni Lou, no? Parang pagod na siya. Nararamdaman ko na, naririnig ko na sa kanya ang boses. He's not 100%. That's why thank you even more. Thank you, Lou. We'll end this episode here. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.